This podcast contains content warnings such as off-screen child death, minor descriptions of gore, death, drinking, and violence. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to Table It, a micro RPG podcast. My name is Tim, and I'm one of the hosts and editor of this production. Table It is an excuse to get my friends Max, Matt, and Manny to play micro RPGs with me. We are all interested in game design as well as actual play, so each game will get a review at the end. Stick around to hear our opinions, as well as if we put this game back on the shelf, or we would table it and play it again. For this episode, we're going to be playing Dread. It's kind of stretching the limits on what a micro RPG is and isn't. The rules could probably fit on an index card, but there's a book out that's probably like 60 plus pages. So yes, you can find Dread in any place that you buy RPGs and also bookstores. I found my copy on drivethrurpg.com. That's the website. The original concept is by someone named Epidiah Ravachol and woodelf, and then the development was by the Impossible Dream Studios. It's super simple. It's a lot of fun. It's a horror game, a lot of tension. The only mechanic is there's a Jenga tower. You pull a block, and whenever the GM asks you to, if you fail to pull a block, your character and the tower collapses, your character dies. That's basically it. You can also refuse to pull a block, in which case you get consequences. Otherwise, you just try not to die. We're going to go ahead and get started and have people make characters. We should do introductions. My name is Tim. I use he, him pronouns.
My name is Matt. I use he, him pronouns as well.
My name is Max. I use they, them pronouns.
And I'm Manny. I also use they, them pronouns.
Excellent.
Giggity goo.
So I've got 4 characters I'm going to pass out to y'all. I've got the archetypes I have is scientist, activist, local, and guard. So one of them is a security guard. One of them is a local of this small town in Michigan called Go Blue, Michigan. And then one of them is a environmental activist, and then one of them is a scientist. So between the scientist, activist, local, and guard, which one do you all find most interesting?
I want to take the local. If y'all,
I knew you were going to pick the local.
It's the local or the guard.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I played this game, I was the scientist archetype.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've written Matt down for local.
Do you have a preference, Max?
I'd like to be the scientist.
Okay.
What's left? The guard and the
environmental activist.
All right, I'll do that.
All right.
The scientist, the activist, the local.
I'd watch that show.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to go through character by character. So we'll start with Max because the scientist was the first one I wrote.
Okay.
And so the first question is, what was the task that first seeded your frustration with the America National Petroleum Corporation?
The America National Petroleum Corporation, ANPC.
For reference, this is the company you work for.
I work for this company?
Yes.
Okay. The event that seeded my frustration was when I discovered that they had been hushing up and distributing false information about the environmental impact of a project. And when I whistle blew on it, they blackmailed me to stay.
Ooh, okay.
What does the PC stand for?
Petroleum
Corporation. By the way, this is not a real company in our real world. It sounds like it, but it's not.
Yeah.
Was it the UPP? What?
ANPC.
ANPC. And your next question is, what advice does your therapist give that you keep ignoring?
Quit.
Okay.
I'm terrified of your character already.
And the last question for you, that's not true. I've got 2 more. While you were on this trip, who at home can you not wait to see?
My son.
Okay. The last question is, what do you look like? Second to last question. I keep messing this up. What do you look like?
Do I look like? I think I am a young single dad, and I am underfed and don't sleep enough.
Hot.
So I'm very thin in an unhealthy way and have deep circles under my eyes.
Okay.
I'm honestly picturing the scientist from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
I haven't seen that.
That's a pretty good movie. And the actual last question is, what is your name? If you want, we can come back to that one. I know it's a doozy.
Let me think on it.
Okay. All right. Character number 2. This is the activist played by Manny. What was the final straw that prompted you to start your environmental justice career?
I think that when I was a child, I lived in this town, and we grew up pretty poor, and because of that, the water in our area was contaminated by this company, and it caused my little brother to have a lifelong debilitating illness that eventually killed him at age 12.
All right. What is the last creative project you are working on?
The last creative project I am working on, I am trying to... I'm going to run something up the flagpole.
Yeah,
Let me
for it.
know if this is
I can always technically say no to these questions.
Yeah.
I was kind of tempted to say no to your previous question on account of that's kind of chomping on Matt's bit a little bit. But I actually kind of like the tie. I think it's cool.
Okay.
So yeah, what's your question?
Well, you also didn't say where your town was.
I did
different
we
town
we
than
can we can retcon and say that I grew up there, and then we moved away, so that's where I got my activism degree and everything, and then I went back because my brother died.
Okay.
Does that work?
That works for me.
Okay, cool. So let me know if this is a creative thing or if this is too scientisty. But I think that they are... I have two options here. One option is they are trying to crossbreed two different kinds of lake algae that filter water.
Okay.
Or they are they use plant pigments to create new colors of paint.
I think those are both very fun. What are the rest of you think? Which is your favorite?
Well, we said creative, not scientific. So I feel like the mixing the plant pigments.
That's kind of where I'm leaning to.
Giving you a painterly aesthetic.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Cool. We'll try that. So they're trying to recreate black is black and pink is pink with all plant-based.
That's sweet. I like that a lot.
Pigments.
Okay. Next question. What was your reaction when... Oops, I wrote this wrong. What was your reaction when character 1, which is Max's character, reached out to you?
Suspicion, as I know that they are from the company that poisoned my little brother. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm wary of them and don't necessarily trust them.
Okay. And you felt afraid to come to Go Blue. Why was that?
I felt afraid to come to Go Blue because it is where my mother had lived all of her life, and I have some issues with my mom. She's a very holy roller church person, and I was born in Go Blue, and I lived in Go Blue, and I'll never move. So I blame her for the death of my brother.
That's good shit.
As well as your praying didn't heal Tim. Hold on. Your prayer didn't heal Jonathan.
Okay,
that's
sweet.
my actual brother's name, motherfucker.
Here, I got you. Axel.
Axel. Okay, yeah, your brother didn't heal, or your prayers didn't heal.
Your brother didn't heal Axel, damn it.
God
prayers.
damn it! See, this is what happens when I try to play a game seriously, y'all, and not just a bunch of goof 'em ups. I'm like, so yeah, I think she blames her mom for Axel's death and just not getting out of the town when she could.
Okay. Second to last question. What do you look like?
I am a 28-year-old grad student. I have red hair, usually pulled back in a ponytail. Use she, her pronouns, smattering of freckles across her face. Deep green, like emerald green eyes. And she always wears a flannel shirt rolled up at the elbows and like khaki shorts and like hiking boots.
Cool.
I love her already.
Mm-hmm. And do you have a name?
Polly Ives.
Okay.
That's solid.
Okay. Character 3, the local, Matt.
Woohoo!
Who in your family is suffering from the most recent ANPC spill?
My niece.
What do you do to help them?
We actually just finished the paperwork, so she's under my health care. My sister and I put the paperwork together so that I'm the legal guardian of my niece, so she can be covered by my health care.
That's relevant to this next question. What job did you take just to pay the bills?
Wow.
I drive truck. There's nothing else that offers insurance in town that isn't directly part of the ANPC.
Okay. What is your next move that will surely get you out of this town?
Buying my truck. That's the next thing. Once the hospital bills are taken care of, then I can actually finish out the lease to own program and go into business for myself.
Okay. And what hobbies do people seem surprised you are really good at?
I can play both the banjo and the mandolin.
Okay.
Nice.
What do you look like?
Tall and skinny, late 30s. Always got somewhere between 5 o'clock shadow and scruff on the chin. Brown hair, just the short side of shaggy. Wow, that took a while.
That's a lot of S's.
And S's.
Yeah, S's. Okay. What is your name?
Stanley Jenkins.
Pronouns?
He, him.
And last but not least, Max, we need your name and pronouns.
Yeah. I think our scientist is going to be he, him. And I think his name is Dr. Jasper Miller.
So, we open our scene in a small town's motel. It is a little room that has a handful of breakfast cereals in styrofoam cups sitting on a low shelf, a couple of tables with 3 people sitting around one table, and an incredibly bored-looking, pimple-covered teenager reading a magazine at the front desk. Around the table are Dr. Jasper Miller, Polly Ives, Polly Ives, and Stanley Jenkins. Now, Polly and Jasper recently drove into town where they met up with Stanley, I assume, old high school friend. Perhaps. For a bit of a local guide, because Dr. Jasper Miller has been instructed to come here and test some things. And I will open the scene to y'all what you want to do.
Now, remind me again why we're here, Jasper.
Well, ANPC sent me down here. I'm just supposed to do some testing on the local water levels. And I guess there's some statistics that are coming back not so good. But, you know, they've been pretty clear with me all along that they value safety first, so...
Sure they do. Yeah.
You don't believe that?
I don't believe that as far as I could throw you. They didn't care about Axel when he was a kid. They sure as hell don't care about anyone else now.
Well, hell, Polly, I remember you doing the shot put for track and field.
That's what I'm saying.
Sorry. Who's Axel?
My brother. He's no longer with us because of ANPC. He got leukemia when he was 4. And traced it back to the water source. And within the next 3-4 years, he was gone.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well. Apologies don't do much for the dead, do they, Jasper?
No, I don't think so.
Quick timeout.
Yeah.
Weren't you the one that Jasper contacted for like the whistleblowing?
No,
They
we didn't
whistle,
connect
whistle,
that.
yeah.
I whistle blew separately.
Uh-huh.
And this is before this all is starting to happen. I whistle blew and they blackmailed me to stay.
Yep.
And then you reached out to Manny's character.
To get a local person to test the water. I don't
then-
remember a connection that we established that I knew about this.
It was a
Yeah.
It-
So, yeah, the question is, why did you, or what was your reaction when Character 2 reached out?
and
so-
you were suspicious of me.
Yeah, I was suspicious of you.
But I don't think we established that I reached out to you for any kind of like ethical
Yeah.
Okay,
means.
cool.
Yeah.
I think I would like to, but I don't think I did.
I don't think she would know that.
Right.
But it's like the enemy is reaching out to me. I'm going to take this meeting to see what I can find.
Right.
Yeah,
Get
but
dirt
I'm
on
yeah.
ANPC or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. Whereas I'm encountering a local person who has a story that I know probably to be demonstrably true.
Yeah.
But I can't share that information yet.
Cool.
Okay.
Back in it.
Back in it.
Great. So, where do you guys think is the best place to do some tests? I've got and I pull out like a stack of equipment. I've got a few things here I need to run. Maybe the headwaters or something.
So you're looking for upriver from the facility, then you're probably looking for right out the sluice gates, then downriver from town by old mine Branson's Pond.
That sounds right.
Yeah. That's where we all used to go swimming, so
Right there, huh?
yeah. Old man Branson, he was a good egg. He always let us swim in his pond. Never seemed to hurt nobody. The place, last I heard, was condemned. Isn't that right? Stanley?
Yeah, funny enough, he left a will in the state courthouses so that the county was trying to fight it to get rid of everything. They've been fighting that legal thing for 7 years now.
Like I said, a good egg.
So we're going to cut to the three of you in a car that I assume Stanley is driving down the main street of Go Blue, Michigan. It's the only paved road in town. The rest of the roads are dirt roads. The main road, Main Street, has 2 bars on it, a post office and a bank, as well as a laundromat, a grocery store, and a diner. However, the laundromat, grocery store, and diner have all been closed for years. After a small bit of driving through this incredibly small town, as buildings get more and more spread out to the point that you see one building every 100, 200 feet, you come across the small pond of which you were planning to test, as well as the eventual upriver destination. At these places, you do your tests. They all go uneventfully. Some of the tests take time to cure, so you bring them back to your hotel room by the time the sun starts to set. For whatever reason, I'm going to determine that all three of you are staying in this motel. Not necessarily the same room, but each of you have a room in this motel.
Well, yeah, I live close by, but it's close by is relative. So that's like hour and 15-minute drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you all go to sleep in this little motel. The beds are horrifically uncomfortable. The pillows are flat and hard. The TVs are all CRTs that say Zenith across them. You go to sleep and you sleep fitfully. It's not comfortable. It's not a great night. You hear noises, but nothing that would alert you enough to potentially go look out your window. But first thing in the morning, as you wake up, all three of you open your doors to go meet up in the little small room that you previously had a horrific continental breakfast in. And looking across the city of Go Blue, it's unrecognizable. Vines, thick green vines, cover every surface. They are across the pavement. They're across the gravel roads. They cover every single building. Opening the door to your hotel room, it stuck a little bit. You didn't know why, so you just kind of pushed on it a little hard, and that cracked open the vines that were covering up your door. The vines go over the top of every building, over the top of every car, over the top of every mailbox.
I'm going to walk up to the front counter and ding the little bell.
You go to the front counter, you find where the door is. You tear open the door, ripping vines off. You go inside, you ding the bell, no one answers.
Well, shit. Turn back around and go to my car and start ripping the vines off.
Okay, I'm going to have you pull a brick. Matt went for one dead in the middle. It already lightly rotated the tower.
Is it classic Jenga rules? Am I stuck with this one now?
No. You can... Right now, I'm allowing you to switch bricks.
That was a mistake.
No, you got this.
No, the mistake is the mic is over here, and I've got...
Okay. You clear off your car, ripping vines off of it, to be able to find enough of an opening to be able to climb in, start the engine. It's similar to getting snow off your car.
I'm going through the back window of the truck into the bed where the topper was covering everything. I'm gonna rummage through my trunk until I find the machete and then go back out and finish the job.
All right. As you're wrapping up, the other two walk up to you, looking over this incredibly bizarre sight.
Well, first things first, I actually would have immediately tried to call my son.
Okay.
I have no information about whether this is a local event or elsewhere in the world.
Yeah.
So how does that go? I'm fumbling for my cell phone.
You pull out your cell phone. You look at the top, and there is a cross over the service. This is emergency calls only.
No signal at all.
No signal.
I would call 911.
It gives you a doo-doo-doo. I'm sorry, the number you're trying to dial. You cannot call emergency services.
Okay.
I have heard that sound so many times this week.
Okay. So I can't reach out, and there's no service here. Okay.
Yes.
I stuffed my phone back in my pocket, and by now, I think I see you hacking away at your car.
Before Polly left her room after opening the door and seeing all that, she's going to run back inside and turn the TV on to find the news and see if this is being covered by the news.
You get channel after channel after channel of static.
Son of a bitch. She goes to her duffel bag and pulls out a Bowie knife and straps it onto her thigh, and says, all right, Tallulah, I didn't think I'd need you, but here we go.
As you step outside, you look up at the top of the building and get an idea of why there might be such a bad cell service as well as TV reception. Old school antenna is completely covered in vines.
Mm.
And looks to be a bit damaged. Like the weight of the vines pulled it down.
Weight of the vines pulled it down. Okay. Hey, Jasper, what do those tests we took last night say?
That's a great question.
Because I had a couple beers before going to bed, but I would have remembered this.
Yeah, me too. Everything seemed really normal when we went back to our rooms. I thought, hang on, let me run back in and check. And I'm going to run back into the hotel. I imagine for the purposes of this, I would have cleared out the hotel bathtub. And that becomes like a relatively sterile, clean location where I would have set up these samples that I'm taking. Maybe there's like a cold, like a dry ice, like nitrogen.
Yeah.
Like attaché case. And that's where I would have kept it. And I crack open like the biohazard seal, lift open the attaché case, dry ice smoke kind of spills out. And I want to look at the samples I took. Poor baby.
I'm sorry, the podcat is very upset.
Podcat. So anyway.
Yes, you look at the you go back in to look at the samples. I'm gonna have you pull a brick.
Not my strong suit,
Max,
that was a success.
Yeah,
A successful pull. Another one from the middle, about halfway up. Good work.
Thank you.
You go into your lab. By lab, I mean bathroom. And you find that your bathtub is full to the brim with green algae.
As in, water somehow got in the bathtub and then filled up, and now there's algae on it? Or the whole thing is filled with, like, just wet, muddy...
The whole thing is
algae.
Wet, muddy algae.
Is my attaché case with the samples in it harmed?
You're gonna reach in and pull it out?
Yeah.
All right, you do. It seems to be unharmed.
Okay.
It's just completely covered in grime.
Okay. So I want to have cracked open the case and look. Like, did anything happen to the pond water in the samples?
Oh, this is very clearly where that came from.
Oh, okay. The samples, I mean, have they, like, broken the glass?
Yes.
Okay.
Just, like, the glass exploded outwards very clearly. It filled up with algae and then burst.
Okay, so the attaché case would have burst. It would not have come out pristine.
Right.
Well, it was sealed then. The attaché case had samples in it and was sealed.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it is damaged then.
Yeah, okay.
I assumed it was some sort of open container that you were using as a station.
No, for the purposes of this, I would have taken the core samples and then like put them in there and sealed it in a sterile environment. But that's destroyed.
Yeah, the case is burst open. The inside completely filled, and now the bathtub also filled.
Right. Up the walls, out the windows, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
I think while you're doing that, I want to take Tallulah and cut one of these vines open and, like, just look at the inside of it to see if there's algae in it or if it's, like, a dry, like...
Yeah, it's you do that. Why don't you pull a brick? Okay.
Success.
Excellent. So you take your knife out, Tallulah, and you grab one of these vines and cut it open. It's a woody vine. There's like a bit of kind of moisture in there, but very clearly not a
Not like a swamp vine.
Not
or
a swamp
anything
vine.
like that? Okay.
In fact, if any of you have any sort of major invasive species knowledge, this is kudzu.
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 I would know that
shit.
probably.
Yeah.
So kudzu anyway is incredibly destructive.
Yeah,
and
kudzu-
fast.
yeah,
So this is like kudzu on steroids.
This is super kudzu.
It's kudzu on speed.
Interesting. How did... So you had algae in the case.
I had just pond water that presumably had
But like
algae
when
and
you
mud
checked
in
it, it was the algae had
Yes.
spilled out.
Yeah.
Why is that affecting the kudzu though?
I've never seen anything like this. Algae is one thing, kudzu is another. Kudzu is really invasive and dangerous, of course. I mean, it can take down a barn in a year if left unattended, but...
About now is when the car horn honks.
So yeah, we just heard your car horn. Beep, beep.
Yeah, I think we'll head... Because I think I was probably... Went to your room to be like, hey, check on the samples.
Yeah.
Cut the vine. I want to take one of the samples with us.
I do too. I want to try and wrestle the whole case, the samples, any test materials that are in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, I'm not a scientist, but I imagine there's like litmus strips and all kinds of
pH
shit,
balances
in there.
and,
I want to take all that stuff with us.
Yeah.
Totally. So we're grabbing our shit,
Yes.
heading down to the car.
Yeah.
You take the case, do your best ability to clean out a bunch of the goop, leaving what stuff you expect to have in there, as well as plenty of new samples. You close the case. The case manages to click back closed again. The latches are not too damaged by it being popped open.
Before we leave, can I grab a second, like, or just like an empty vial or bottle, something?
Sure.
And I want to turn on the tap and get water from the tap.
Good idea.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you do that.
Cool. And then I just kind of hand it to
Yeah,
you,
I, like, tuck it
Jasper,
into, like, a
and
section
just
of
like see if it's gotten into the drinking water. Cause if it does this, when like to kudzu, what could it do to someone who drank it? Not to mention, weren't there other guests at this motel?
Nope.
All right. Well,
No, Billy was supposed to be running the counter last night, but I can't find him.
all right.
Just then, you hear a noise from behind the motel.
What kind of noise?
It's leaves rustling against each other.
Oh, that's fine. Let's just head.
Not like wind, but like something walking through the grass or through the kudzu.
Maybe that's him there. Should we go see if he's okay? Rather, maybe that's him there. Should we go see if he's okay?
Yep. Truck's running if you want to head there. And I just turn and walk.
Okay, I'm gonna have you pull a brick.
Going for the very bottom.
Absolute bottom.
Ooh,
That's success.
good job.
Nicely done.
Okay. That tower is already making me uncomfortable.
Yeah, for sure. It's leaning big time.
You walk around behind the building, expecting to find Billy, the pimpled hotel employee. Motel employee, excuse me. It's very important that it's a motel, not a hotel. This town could not afford either, but only barely a motel.
The Motel Hotel Holiday Inn.
That's correct. You spot a human figure walking towards you, stumbling through the grass, through the kudzu and the grass. There's both. Dressed entirely in a ghillie suit. If you're unfamiliar with a ghillie suit, it is a military outfit designed for hiding in shrubbery. It's a kind of sniper getup.
Basically, there's a vaguely human-shaped walking bush.
Uh-huh. This walking bush is very clearly a human shape. It's got arms and legs and a head. And it's walking towards you. And you are probably like 10, 20, I want to say about 30 feet away from it. It's actually properly behind the motel. and you've just walked to the corner, and you're looking back like halfway down the room length.
Jim? Is that you?
It turns around,
Oh, it was walking away.
faces you, and screams. Its scream is hollow, quite loud, and so it's this like raspy wail that kind of echoes off of the buildings around this otherwise incredibly quiet town. And once it stops, you realize that you didn't hear any birds up until this point.
All right. I guess that's not Jim with his doomsday bullshit. What?
You're back there by yourself.
I'm just. You could have if you wanted to.
Did we go with him, do you think?
Well, I was going to say, because he said the car is running.
Yeah,
if you
the
wanna
truck's running,
head
yeah.
out. So I think, can we hear the scream?
Yeah.
I think I'll turn to Jasper and say, why don't you warm up the car and meet us around back? And I'm going to go back into the lobby and vault over the counter.
Okay.
So like behind where like the guy would check in, and I'm trying to find the shotgun that I assume is behind the counter there.
In a small town hotel, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll have you pull a brick. Whoa. Table bump.
God.
Tower wiggle. It stopped. We're good.
Another one from the very bottom.
Another
There's
bottom
only
piece.
one
removed.
more on the very bottom.
Disgusting. Excellent.
Nice.
You go around back, you vault the countertop, and you have a quick glance behind the counter. Leaning up against the wall, you spot a baseball bat. And for a second, you're like, "Ah, dang it! They just have a baseball bat. This is not a shotgun kind of hotel."
Really? It's been gone downhill since I lived here.
But
No, it went uphill, Polly.
under the counter, Velcro strapped, there is a 12 gauge pump action Remington shotgun.
That's what Mama likes. And I kick open the back door.
A single shell pops out of it.
Oh, son of a bitch. I've never shot a gun. I don't know what I just did, but I think Polly would.
There's a clip I'm going to show you after this.
Okay. Yeah. Never shot a gun in my life. Never even held one. So I don't know what I just did, but I assume Polly does. So
Great.
am I... did a shell pop out?
Yeah.
Okay.
What you do is if you fully cock the weapon, it pops open the loading it's both the loading hatch and basically the exhaust port.
Okay.
There's a technical term for it, and I can't remember it for the life of me right now. But it ejects the spent casing.
Okay.
If you haven't fired the weapon, there's no spent casing. You just eject a live round.
Okay. So
What Polly
can we
likely would have
retcon that to say that she didn't do that?
That's what she's doing.
So she knows what she's doing.
What Polly likely would have done is if you go part way, it
You can
slides
look
the
inside,
port
yeah.
open,
Okay.
and you go, "Yep, it's loaded," and then you just pull it back forward and
Okay.
it shuts.
So that's what I did, listeners.
And there might be a box of ammo.
Well, and yeah, I would also can we say that as I was looking around, I was also looking for
Yeah.
a box of shells.
Yeah. I'm going to say that you find a. Actually, no. I'm gonna say you don't find shells. This is
So it just got the one in the
well.
in the gun.
It has probably 4. I think.
Okay.
I think legally you
It's-
can have 4.
It
Depends on where.
It doesn't matter.
The important
Let's say
part.
it's 4.
Yeah. The important part is you have what's in the shotgun. This is a motel defense shotgun. They're not expecting to have more ammo.
That's very fair. I guess this town never prepared for the zombie apocalypse. I guess whatever.
That's why I asked if it was Jim in the ghillie suit.
Yeah, right. So I think Polly just does something cool and badass, and then kicks open the back door.
Nice.
You kick open the back door. You're now standing between the screaming figure, who has now stopped screaming for what it's worth. They did one big scream, and Stanley Jenkins.
Oh, I'm between them. Okay.
Yes.
So you're within 10 feet from this thing.
Son of a bitch! Stanley, what the hell is that?
I don't know. I thought it was Jim.
I know I've been gone a while, but I don't remember Jim looking like that.
It kind of rotates slowly on its feet to face you and screams a second time.
What are we actually seeing? Does it look just like a bush, or
The question
can I tell that
is it actually a ghillie suit?
That's what I'm asking. Yeah.
Is it literally a walking plant?
I would say that right now you can't really tell what exactly this thing is made out of. It looks like a walking plant. It looks a lot like a ghillie suit. It looks like it could be a person wrapped in vines. It could be a military operator who's decided to just scream at people. It could also be potentially just a plant.
Does the
When you are close enough to a ghillie suit, meaning when you're within 10 feet of a ghillie suit,
you can tell that it's a person.
You can tell that it's fabric.
Yes, this is very clearly not fabric.
Okay. So I think if I'm that close, and I'm assuming that this scream does not sound like how a human would scream that just got spooked.
Yeah, this is not a, oh my goodness, how did you walk around that corner so fast scream? This is is
like an eldritch nightmare sort of situation. Okay, I think Polly just blasts a leg, at a leg.
Sure.
So not shooting to kill, but because if it is a person, I don't want to murder them, but incapacitate for sure.
Okay. If you're going to shoot them, I need you to pull a brick. Manny's testing the tower, poking at various spots, found a very easily movable centerpiece.
But it's making some wobbles on top.
It's a Jenga tower. The whole thing's wobbly. Also, I want to apologize, but not really. I put it up bad.
I noticed that.
I noticed it looked a little rough. I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh my god. A success, but...
A success.
Told y'all, I'm real good at Jenga.
The shotgun barks its retort. The leg comes off. You shot below the kneecap, hoping to not permanently injure this person, but enough to give them a start and damage them enough that they would not yell at you anymore, I assume. The leg just blows off and cartwheels into the distance. This thing collapses over, and you see red blood coming out of the stump.
Oh, shit.
I hear the massive percussive sound of the shotgun going off. I am now in the warmed up truck, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Dr. Jasper Miller doesn't drive. I think he's from a city and doesn't know how to drive. So he is going to make his best guess, having seen taxi drivers drive, and so on and so forth.
You know what it is, Max? I think it's a stick shift.
I was going to say...
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's me. He can drive. He can drive an automatic and can't drive a stick. So he immediately tried... He has a rough knowledge of what he's supposed to do, but I think he kills it. Boom. And then has to restart it and is trying again.
I'm going to have you pull a brick.
Pulled around. And what I'm trying to do is, as fast as possible, pull around the back and come and help these guys. But I have killed the engine at least once.
Okay.
Matt is so upset right now.
Make sure you're only using one hand.
Yes.
If you crash my truck, so help me God.
So, a quick question while we're on the topic. Is this your... I assumed it was like a personal pickup truck. Did you drive your actual, semi?
No.
That you... Okay.
This is my
personal
personal.
I'm not entirely
the
sure.
leased semi is back at my sister's place.
I was going to say, that'd be a little overkill if you brought your...
Max is going for a middle block that's come out.
Near the top, and
it's on
success.
top.
Can I touch it?
It's fine.
Okay.
I'll say if you want to touch it, you can, but it can also be adjusted by the placement of the other three.
The tower is currently being supported by one block in the middle at the very bottom.
For sure.
Because
So
Matt and I are assholes.
succeed.
Yep.
And
Okay. The truck, grinding and bumping, you manage to get it around the back where you see your two compatriots standing over a no longer moving green plant-looking bleeding thing.
I stick my head out the window. What the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Get in the fucking truck.
You all saw it? He shot first.
What? And I get
I
out
don't know.
and motion for you to get
I drop the back gate, yelling, "Throw her in neutral!" as I reach in and grab the first aid kit.
I look down and I get it in neutral.
There is no N.
He doesn't know that.
It's 1 through
Jasper-
6 and an R.
So is
Jet,
it is the
you got
end
it.
2?
You gotta hit the clutch. The clutch, Jasper.
The fuck? Why am I doing this? I'm
the,
from New York.
It's the third one. The one all the way on your left. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now
I
and
got it.
okay. All right. Good.
So I'm running over because that's blood.
Uh-huh.
I'm running over to check on this thing.
You can't. What are you doing to check on it? You actually, you know what? I'll have you check on it. I'll have you pull a brick.
You said no longer moving.
No longer moving. Okay. Matt is poking various bricks to find one that moves. A centerpiece near the bottom. Pinky used to push the brick further.
I hate you so much right now, Tim.
I can stop narrating.
I
No,
love
we
keep
have
the
to-
narration. That is good
this,
for
like,
the
dog
podcast.
show.
It doesn't change the fact that I hate you.
Oh, you hate me because we're playing Jenga.
I hate you because we're playing Dread.
Yeah.
I'll give the whole shtick later. Oh my god, I gotta stand up.
Yeah, you might want to come around actually.
A successful pull and place on top. There we go.
Okay. You grab the first aid kit. You run over to the body. You check for a pulse, I assume. You see if it's
I look
breathing.
and see if there's bone.
Oh, there is bone.
Okay, so that literally
Do you
looks
have
like a human.
Do you have first aid training?
I have survival training.
Okay.
which is kind of mandatory up here.
Okay. So you kind of like try to get it to see if it's reacting to you at all, if it has any like attention, if you can.
I'm not gonna touch it myself because I'm now worried.
Okay.
I'm holding the first aid case in my hand and I'm poking at it, and that's how I'm trying to get the touch response.
It does not move. The blood coming out of the leg appears to have stopped. It bled like it bled a small amount and then stopped.
Hey, Polly, come back over here.
Polly takes a step closer.
See
Kinda
if you can
nudges
clear
it.
the face. You
Yeah.
got the knife. My machete's back in the truck and it's a bit too big.
I'm going to try to nudge some leaves out of the way with the shotgun first because I don't want to get that close to it.
Can we recognize the face?
No. The leaves and vines across it are just so tightly woven that like they don't really move. Just then, the three of you hear a rhythmic pounding sound. It sounds incredibly far away. It sounds like a 4 on the floor, sort of like boom, 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 boom kind of beat. But it's
Tuesday. Sorry.
but it's coming from blocks away.
Hold up. Come on.
That doesn't sound good.
I kicked the body one last time to just in
No
case.
reaction.
No.
Come on. The first aid kit is still like sealed. The latches are still done.
That shouldn't have killed him, should it?
Looks like they were already dead.
All right. Yeah, we guess we pile in the truck. Can we all fit in the truck or should?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we all
Okay.
fit in the truck. It's a
Like I didn't.
It's not
know
an
if it was,
extended
like,
cab.
That's why I was asking.
Someone's sitting in the middle, and I got my hand right in their lap to shift.
I'm middle eight ball. You are driving.
And I'm holding a shotgun out the window.
You're literally driving shotgun.
Exactly, yeah.
While we're doing this, I reach into the attaché case and I pull out a big box of vinyl rubber gloves, which I hand a handful to both of you and myself so that we all have gloves. Or put these on. We don't know what's going on with that.
I slap those on, and as we're all getting into the truck, I actually just take the window that's supposed to be the back window and basically just try to shove it as far open as it can go. And if it's not wide enough for a person to fit through, I just start smashing the glass.
Yeah, okay. I'll say it's wide enough for a person to climb through.
Okay.
Someone get back there. We need someone with the supplies.
All right. Polly crawls through.
So you're driving then?
Yep.
Where are you going?
I'm going towards the sound.
Towards the sound, okay. So
Real quick, just so I have it in my mind, is the
You ever seen a...
is it open? What's the back of a fucking truck called? God.
the pickup
A bed?
The bed, thank you. Is it open or does it have like a...
It's got a topper on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool, thank you.
It's like there's a classic...
Yeah.
We're putting that in major air quotes here. Pickup that's just kind of the redneck staple.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
what the Ford Ranger?
No, that
Or
was
is this the F-150?
No, it's,
Mine was an S10.
I had a 94 Ford Ranger with an inline 4-cylinder engine in it.
I grew up with a Mazda.
But no, it's the bed. The bed has a topper. But I've got the toolbox back there. I've got a bunch of random supplies.
I know
There's
exactly
an
what it-
unsheathed
okay.
Yeah.
machete sitting in the back
Yep,
that I'd use
yep.
to.
And
do
do you
the
have
truck
your
off.
own shotgun pinned to the top behind them? Because
No,
no shotgun, just a machete.
there's 3 different flare guns.
Perfect.
Yoink!
Jumper cables.
Put one in the
rope
back of my
distance.
shorts.
Nice. Nice.
No, my shotgun's in the company truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you...
I saw Fast and the Furious.
Oh, no. You thought he was the good guy? So you start driving towards the sound. You can still hear it. It's continuing to get louder. You get in your truck. You drive around a corner. You find yourself on Main Street after a couple corners. And walking down the middle of the road is a creature. It's 10 feet high at the shoulder. It has a huge mouth that's sort of split like 5 ways. It's got a bit of a tail. It's got at least 4 legs on the ground and several more legs sticking wildly into the sky in various angles.
No.
It appears to be made of mud and plant matter.
I reach under the dash. And undo my own Velcro on my revolver.
I was going to say, I knew you had a gun in the fucking truck.
Yeah, but it's not in the back. I need it. The back's the survival supplies, and that's what I was thinking we were going up against to begin with.
I think I might know what this is as a player. I don't think Polly would, so I'm going to save that. But has this thing noticed us, and is it like...
It's coming towards you.
Towards us? Okay, and I'm assuming, does it look aggressive?
I'm going to say yes.
Is it fast?
It wasn't very fast until you rounded the corner. You round the corner, you spot it. You can't help but spot it. It's like as tall as some of these buildings are. It's long, like salamander kind of length. And it's sort of walking at a sort of slow plodding clip. And you can recognize those 4x4, like doom, 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 as each one of its legs moves a little bit. Then When you get just a little bit closer, its mouth opens and it starts moving towards the truck at a speed that is aggressively alarming.
Hit the gas, hit the gas.
I dropped
hit
the
gas.
car.
Reverse!
I dropped the car into... You've driven stick, Tim?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Car's
Car's in neutral. I floor the gas pedal and slam the car into second.
Okay.
I'm going through the creature.
Oh, no.
I need you to pull a brick.
Oh my god. The tower is looking...
Ooh.
Oh no.
Okay, I gotta stand up for this one, too, and I'm gonna have to go over my mic. This is gonna suck.
You got this. I believe in you.
Why? Gosh.
Matt's pulled a brick from the middle, putting it on top.
Nice. Well done.
Tower has stopped wiggling. Okay. You... What, is that a Is that a tardigrade?
It is.
Yeah.
That is not what this thing looks like.
Okay.
No, this is,
I was thinking of the thing.
I'm thinking combination.
I thought it was like a mutated tardigrade because
Okay,
they live in water.
That I wish I would have thought of that, but I
I'm
did not.
picturing a mix of the Leshens as they're depicted in The Witcher.
Yep.
And what's the frickin' monster from The Mist?
I've not seen either
The
of
Mist?
those. I will tell you what is in my head when we
get
finish.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this thing starts stomping at you. You floor it, and you're like, I'm gonna go through it. It opens its mouth, splitting, like I said, splitting like 5 ways. You see like rows of teeth, just like sticking out at odd angles from the insides of its like multiple layers of gums. Inside is an additional mouth.
Oh.
It opens that as well, and you can
Double
kind
mouth.
of see into it. And just then, as you're able to kind of look into the gullet of this thing, it hits the truck. The truck hits it.
God.
You are all thrown into the ceiling, into the walls of the truck. Seatbelts taut. You're in the back.
How loose is this machete?
It was sitting on top of a tarp, unsheathed.
All right.
Unless you did something to it.
I don't think Polly would have thought to do that, so I'm like ducking a machete.
The truck hits basically a brick wall.
I was trying to take out the legs.
The front of the truck, like the whole engine block, basically is in this thing's like second mouth.
Much bigger mouth than I was expecting. I was trying to like hit the legs and go under it. Give it a flipperoo.
I imagine it's probably pretty low to the ground.
It's fairly low to the ground.
Yeah.
Like I said,
So it's 10
salamander
feet
like
tall,
at the shoulder.
but then when it headed toward us, it like got on all fours.
It's always been on all fours.
Oh, okay.
But it has extra legs sticking up
Yeah.
somewhere.
Got it.
This
Okay.
thing is
I thought
like
this
a-
was bipedal, but it isn't.
No. This is like a tube of flesh covered in legs.
Oh my god.
That's
gross.
a terrible way to say that.
And now the radiator is in its mouth.
And the inner mouth bites down on the engine and then pulls backwards about a foot, just shredding the engine out of this car.
Everybody out! Out!
The top part of this thing's mouth is now clamped over the bulk of the cabin. I'm gonna have each of you pull a brick to escape the truck.
Okay, let's go first.
Okay.
I am.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Join our Discord.
Yeah,
doing
join the
Discord
Discord.
now?
Yeah,
Follow
join the
us
Discord.
on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook group, YouTube, and our Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy spooky season,
Happy spooky
y'all.
season.
Yeah, thank you for listening. Our theme this episode is Chill Vibrant Jazz theme by Danny Dory, and we'll see you next time.
Nice.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.